Okay. Hello. My name is Chellamuthu Kuppusamy. Hi to everybody from TISA, the Indian Stammering Association. It gives me an immense pleasure to share my experiences to this group of friends across India. My name is Chellamuthu Kuppusamy. As I said before, I'm 42 years old. And I have been a stammerer all along my life, uh, throughout the schools, college, and at workplace, in front of friends and families, everywhere. I have always been a stammerer. So I thought I'll share my experiences and how we should not allow this peculiar bad habit not affecting us in our life. So the first thing to remember about stammering is not a disease. It's not a handicapped feature. So all we need to understand is that it's a bad habit. Like an individual getting into smoking, an individual having the drinking habit, and so on. Stammering is also a bad habit. Habits, whether they are bad or good, they can be learned and unlearned. So the success of an individual depends on his ability to recognize his bad habits and make conscious efforts to unlearn those bad habits and make sincere efforts to learn the good habits. I said stammering is not a disease, it's a bad habit. Um, uh, that is what we have to understand and accept, first of all. And, uh, uh, and also, it's not a manufacturing defect we have in our body. This is some sort of a psychological block or something in our subconscious mind that lets us think that I'm going to stammer here. I won't be able to deliver my speech without any interruption. So this kind of a inhibition, this kind of an apprehension or internal anxiety is causing us the stammer. So why I'm saying that anxiety and fear, apprehension cause stammering is because when you are alone, when you are in a happy mood, when you are singing a movie song of your choice, you'll not stammer at all. When you sing a happy song, or when you are speaking to a small child, or when you are speaking to somebody who loves you unconditionally, who's not going to judge you based on your speech, you're not going to stammer. So the main reason for stammer is hence the subconscious anxiety. So that can only be overcome by constant practice. So what requires to make this constant practice is the first step is to accept that you are a stammerer, and there is no shame in it, absolutely no shame in it, because if people are going to decide your ability based on your speech pattern, then it's not your problem. People will have to give credit, or they need to respect you for what you are and what you are capable of, not how well you articulate or how well you speak. because only for few professionals, speech is the main uh, quality or an aspect. If you are a lawyer, or if you are a politician, or if you are working in visual media, appearing on TV every day, or you are an YouTube star, or whether you are a singer, or for that matter, acting in movie, only for those professions, you have to depend on your ability to flawlessly articulate your thoughts, your ideas, and um, your views. But for others, you don't have to really worry about it. So first of all, let us all accept that it's okay. It's okay to stammer. The more you have the apprehension that I'm going to stammer, the frequency of stammering is going to be higher. So whenever you're going to speak to somebody, think that it's okay, because if you have an apprehension that I might stammer and hence I need to try to be really careful, you might be constantly thinking about it, then it's going to increase. On the other hand, if you feel that it's okay even if I stammer, then, and I think the occurrence of speech irregularities is going to come down. So that's the main thing. The number one thing is to accept that it's okay to stammer. Even the most fluent people can sometimes fumble. They can fumble in front of a large audience when they are confronted in an unfamiliar situation, or when they are when they are expected to handle an embarrassing situation. So it can happen to anybody. Only the degree of speech irregularity can vary from people to people. So that's what we have to accept as a first thing. And the second thing is try to slow down the speed of your speech, because the most effective communicators in the world are not speaking at 100 miles per hour. They give enough pause. They take a lot of time between the words, between the sentences, and they let the audience go through what they think. And also, by giving pause between the words, they also buy more time to enable the thought process to come up with the next points that they are going to speak. So the first key is to slow down the pace at which we speak. Let me also tell you one thing, and it will make you happy and confident. It's a fact, or at least I believe that it's a fact. The fact is that stammerers, the people who have speech irregularities, are more intelligent than the average normal people in the world. Let me explain why I say this. Your thought process acts really fast. The rate at which we think is really fast. And our speech apparatus, the organs which are required to deliver the speech, maybe your throat, your jaws, and your tongue, and so on, right? This whole apparatus, this speech system, it actually works a little slower than the rate at which your brain processes ideas, views, and thoughts. So it's like a high velocity of thoughts and views are being pumped by the brain, which the speech apparatus, the speech system is not able to handle. So the brain is actually working very fast as compared to the speech apparatus. So that we need to recognize. So by recognizing that, if you practice yourself to slow down your speech pace, then you can control what is being pumped from the brain to your speech apparatus. So by controlling that speed, you can allow the speech system to take its own time in a relaxed manner, to talk slowly. So that is what we have to always remember. You don't have to talk real fast. Sometimes we may be thinking that the person opposite to me or the person who's in the counter may think bad. Don't ever think about that. If other people think that you are talking slow, it's not your problem. Just think about it. Okay. You take your time, talk in a slow manner. That is the first thing. And the second thing is try to avoid sending emails, sending SMS, sending WhatsApp messages to anybody. Try to pick up the phone and speak to people. First, start with the people whom you know, with whom you are very close with. That will help you to get into the habit of speaking rather than writing or typing. By doing that, this habit, because naturally speaking is more effortless than sending something as a text. However, for the people who have speech problem, we always believe that it's easier to compose lengthier emails, send SMS, and so on. So we need to come out of that habit. So how you can do that is first start practicing that with the people you know, with the people you are comfortable with, and then slowly extend that habit with other people. Try to use every single opportunity to speak to some unknown person on the phone. Because if you're going to speak to somebody from the bank, somebody from the, just a second. So if you're going to speak to somebody from the phone, if you're going to speak to somebody from the bank, or if you're going to speak to somebody from the mobile company, or some unknown, okay? So you don't have to worry how that person is going to judge you. It's not your headache. So try to speak to as many unknown, anonymous people as you can. That will give you the required practice to slowly come over this hurdle. And that will help in facing real challenging situations, like handling your professor or handling your manager or attending an interview and so on. So that habit of preferring the oral communication over written communication should become a habit. Yeah. So that's the most important thing. And another thing is, try not to substitute. For example, we might have issues with a particular word, or a set of words starting with particular sound or an alphabet. So what we usually do is we try to substitute with another word. For example, when I was in college, I was uncomfortable with the word production. So I always, whenever I had to use the word production, I always consciously try to substitute it with the word manufacturing, because for me, manufacturing was much fluent, much easier. At least I had that in my mind that I can pronounce manufacturing without any issues. Whereas if I have to pronounce production, I might get stuck. So that should come out of your mind. You should never try to substitute any word with another word. Even if you're going to be stuck, even if you're going to fumble, that's fine. Try to use that word slowly. For example, production, politicians. So try to make your speech sound like a song, like how you sing, right? So the same manner, you can say television. So try to sound your speech in a like a uh, like a rhythm, right? But even now, the word rhythm is not coming out properly for me. So I'm not trying to substitute with another word. I slow down. I allow my speech apparatus, my speech system to slowly deliver that word. So that is where we need to reach. Never try to substitute any word, but try to speak those words slowly, very, very, very slowly, so that once you are able to speak or pronounce a feared word, or a word which was very scary for you earlier, if you are able to speak that once, then your confidence is going to expand manyfold, right? So that's what we need to get into. And I think I have few other points as well. So try, uh, um, where were I? Okay, right. And sometimes, we make some awkward gestures when we speak, right? Some people, when they speak, they try to tap their feet or close their eyes like this, or sometimes hands do like this, or do like this. So all these kind of awkward gestures we need to avoid. We need to constantly avoid and try to talk slowly. It's not easy. It's easily said than done. However, it's not impossible. Uh, in my school days and in my college, I always had the apprehension. Even at the workplace, I had so many wonderful ideas, but for the fear of expressing those ideas, the fear of being seen by others as a stammerer has always held me back. I have always stayed back, not expressing my views and ideas most of the times. But after a certain stage in life, I didn't care about that. I was wondering what that event was, what made that transformation in me. Now, if I can look back my life, and if I can retrospect, I think, and I think I can reasonably conclude that after I got married, my uh, speech, my confidence has increased drastically. So the assurance, the confidence that you have somebody in the world who can accept you as you are. You have somebody in the world for whom stammering is not an issue. You have somebody in the world for whom what you are is more important than how you speak. So that has happened with my wife, and that was the watershed moment in my life. And after that, even now, I stammer when I speak to you. You might have observed in this video that I stammer occasionally. And I do stammer at my work when I speak to the people every day. And it happens occasionally. That's okay. People are not worried. People only care about what you are capable of. You are not going to make an election propaganda for a political party, and you are not going to win votes for the party with your speech. You have a work, you have a job, you have a life, and a small part of that life would need you to communicate what you want to share with other people. So that's a small portion of that. So we don't really have to worry about that. So all we need to focus is, because the people are so much worried about stammering, and they think about it all the time, and it's not allowing them to sleep properly. It's like having a life imprisonment. Like, no, for a crime you have not committed, you are in jail for lifelong, right? That's how I see this. So don't worry about that. I think things will fall in place automatically. Yeah, that's what I wanted to give it as a summary. But what we can do to slowly overcome this habit, because even for a marathon runner, he's not going to simply wake up on the day and he's going to run 42 kilometers, right? So he's going to make regular practices. He might start with 5 kilometers, and then the next day he may do 6 kilometers, and 7, maybe 10, 15, 20, and so on, right? All of a sudden he cannot complete a 40-kilometer marathon run. In the same manner, practice is important. Try to practice, make make your speech apparatus function properly by slowly speaking, probably in front of the mirror or in front of your family members. And you can even record your speech, and you can replay to see whether there are any unwanted irregularities in your speech pattern or your facial expression and so on. So this can be done. And more importantly, it's important to slow down the pace of our speech. So you can request somebody in your family or a close friend with whom you spend most of your time to inform you, to stop you whenever you are speaking fast, whenever you are stuck, whenever you stammer a lot. Ask them to stop you, and then ask them to instruct you to talk relaxedly and slowly. So sometimes all the time it helps. Okay, it helps to stop, slow down, and then speak in a relaxed manner. So why we need somebody else to say this to us? It's because we cannot control ourselves all the time. We need some help, external help. And I think if this happens for a few months, I think with few successful experiences you encounter with new people or some strangers, your confidence will increase drastically. The reason why I say this, no, I was so introvert, I have so much inhibition, but I started appearing on TV shows. I record videos for YouTube, and I'm also running share market workshop with people. And in that workshop, I do stammer. I get stuck. People are not worried. People are not there to to hear flawless speech. All they need is the views and ideas and concepts, right? So even if I get stuck occasionally, uh, sometimes it can happen frequently, depending upon the day, because some days can be bad. On those days you can stammer badly. That's fine. That's fine. It's absolutely fine. So that's the key. Now no, I thought I'll share this experience with all of you, because at least it can help some youngsters, who are in school and college, and some people who are trying to find their jobs, because it's easy to say that you need to control your speed, you need to relax, things will fall things will fall in place and so on. But it's not really easy to practice, especially for the people in that age group, um, because they need to find a job, they need to attend interviews, they need to express their views, and it's a real competitive world. It's not about what you know, it's all about how you express what you know, right? That's how this world will see us. That's how the world uh, will recognize us. So it's not easy. At the same time, don't give up the hope. Don't always think about the speech problem at all, because uh, you need to work on your strengths. You need to work on your strengths more than working more on your weaknesses, because strength is what will differentiate you from other people. Strengths are what will find you a place in this world. Strength Strengths will create an identity for you. But instead of working on strengths, if you only work on weakness, if you only work on your weakness, you'll only come to just enough or average in the area where you are weak, but you won't excel in the area where you have the strength, right? Where you are good at it. So if you work more on your strengths, you'll get uh, you'll get recognized. You'll Other people will try to spot you for what you are best at, and your weakness will be immaterial at that time. So that's why I say, um, no, I think we all saw some cartoon, right? When you have a universal uh, school syllabus for all the animals, um, like a bird, and then a snake, and then a rabbit, and fish, and so on, right? So when all these animals have to take a swimming class, then obviously fish will win. It will excel. But if you have another subject for climbing the tree, fish will die. Monkey will get 100 marks, right? So if fish is thinking that it's weak, its only weakness is in climbing the tree, then it's it's going to spoil its beautiful life with swimming. So you need to work more on your strengths. I'm not saying that speech and right, expressing your views and ideas are immaterial or completely irrelevant, but I think it's not as bad. I don't know, um, as what should I say, as um, mm, whatever. Okay, it's not as bad as what we imagine. So we need to work more on our strengths and try speaking to people uh, who are comfortable with whom you are comfortable with, and slow down your speed, um, and you can start singing a lot of songs, and try speaking to the people on phone instead of sending emails and other stuff. and try to listen to your voice often and accept that it's okay to stammer. There's no shame associated with it. And try not to think about it as a disease or a physical handicap. It's only a bad habit. And by constantly working on our approach, on our attitude towards speech, I think we can slowly overcome this. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And yeah, all the best. And I'll be happy to share my experiences with you probably in another occasion if required. And if you know anybody in your family or in your friend circle or somebody in your community with this bad habit, don't try to what should I say, humiliate them, because that's going to increase this problem further. Try to accommodate them. Try to give them a feeling that you are not judging them with the way they speak. Yeah, that will help them a lot, and automatically over the years, that will slowly start vanishing from their speech habit. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share and say to everybody. Thank you so much. I will also record. I'm recording this video. I'll also upload it into the Indian Stammering Association Facebook page as well. And happy to speak to any youngsters who might need some sort of a support. I'm happy to share my experience with him or her. And all the best. Thank you very much.